Think of this thing as a big bicycle pump. There's a piston in here, along with a piston rod, and all this is attached to this flywheel. So as this piston moves back and forth, compresses the air, sends it up this tube to these tanks. But somehow or other, we got to get this flywheel moving in order for that to happen. And it's attached to this old 1920s vintage Caterpillar diesel engine. And it still runs. It's got a little personality. Sometimes it gets a little finicky. But I got it started earlier today, so I'm sure it'll start for us today when we do it. But one thing is starter technology, when this thing was built, just wasn't really well developed, electric starters. And it's a little bit too big to hand crank. So how do you think we're going to start this Caterpillar engine? Is we're going to start this gasoline engine up, right? Once it's started, we're going to use it to start the diesel engine up. Once the diesel engine started up, we're going to engage that clutch right there to get this flywheel to start moving. Once this flywheel is moving, it'll get that piston to move back and forth. We'll open up this valve here so that air can travel through those tanks. And then we'll monitor that gauge over there until it hits, just below 40 psi. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up this valve here. And that will allow air to get to that foghorn over there, which is known as the south foghorn. Now, if we wanted to blow the north foghorn, we'd open up this one. But today, we're going to blow the south one. So, just one more little piece of the puzzle of this Rube Goldberg setup. Right? And remember those two wires that were up on the roof? Well, those wires find their way over to this timer. Is it anybody's birthday today? Anybody celebrating anything?
His was last week.
Close enough. That's how it works. Once this switch is activated, there's an electric motor here which will turn, and mounted on the motor are these two discs with notches on them. So as this turns, this roller bearing will hit this notch, depressing, making an electrical contact, sending electricity up to one of those valves, allowing the air to flow, blowing one of the horns. And there are two of these discs, one right behind the other, one for each one of those valves. Okay? So I need the first of the many volunteers, and the first task is to start that gasoline engine. Anybody want a blast to the past? And
Why not?
All right, you got voted.
Listen hard.
All right, so
The pressure's on, that means that's only going to turn maybe 1.5, 2 times maybe?
you got it. Just I would clear this area here because there's going to be some flying elbows.
It'll probably be me, not the road. Just straight up?
Hold on a minute.
you're going to flip this switch to the left, and when it hits this knob, it's going to blow. Go ahead. All right, so it's moving. Here it comes. Here it comes.